Evade, 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 evade. All right, well, I guess it wouldn't be fun if, we had a good advantage on the good side, right? You got busted up by That's kind of funny. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are here with, well, it's a new show to this channel, but not a new show. It is another anime since a few of my animes have wrapped up. It is a classic. It is amazing. It's one of my favorites that are out there right now. It is none other than Boku no Hero Academia, otherwise known as My Hero Academia. It is such a good little show. I don't even need to get into the premise. I feel like if you've wandered here, you know the premise of this show already. You know what it's about. Little bit of a disclaimer. I have watched all the previous seasons. I've watched it since it first started airing. But, when it first started airing, my channel was still quite new and I was not really reacting to animes on this channel yet. So that's the main reason I didn't start reacting to it earlier. But it's something that I like to watch, and we're getting into like the prime of this show, into the really cool arcs that are going to coming up in this particular anime. So I just figured I'll start reacting to it. I did a poll and you guys were great. Thank you for responding. You said that you wanted to watch me watch it, so thank you so much. Thank you for joining this journey with me. If you're brand new here, welcome as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what this new arc is going to bring, because last arc was crazy, particularly the last act of it. Like, there was so much that was going on in every episode that you just never knew what was going to go down. But yeah, as far as what happened in the last season, I think we were just going to talk about what happened towards the end, because honestly, it's been a minute since I watched it. Our main guy, Midoriya, he was on a bit of a solo mission for a long time last season when he discovered that our big bad was basically singling him out, like all for one, was basically saying that I'm going to come after you and anyone who is helping you is going to get it. We see that Midoriya felt like the only way he could protect the people that he loved, his family, his friends, his schoolmates, was to try to go at it alone and try to find All For One himself and take him out. But we saw that that was obviously not a good plan, because he is one man. And even though he is doing very, very well, all of the previous One For Alls they've awakened in him. They're lending him his power. He's learning how to be more powerful than he's ever been before. In fact, he's more powerful than any of the previous versions of him have been, because unlike the rest, he can actually handle all the powers. He is still only one person. He can't take care of everything all the time, and he's still human, right? He still needs to rest and eat and all those good things. So anyways, we see that he was going at it alone, but his classmates, after he told his classmates the truth about his quirk, the fact that it was a borrowed quirk and why he left, we see that they were not cool with it. They were like, no, like we're a team, class 1A. We've been squad since day one. He needs help. There's no way he can take on everything, because we saw it wasn't just a matter of Midoriya trying to go after All For One, as well as oh gosh, what's the name of Todoroki's brother, Toya. It's not even just that. Like, he was also trying to like stop all the little petty crimes he was coming across as well from all the jailbreaks. So it was just too much, and we saw that Midoriya was literally getting run down. Even the different mentors in his head were all trying to tell him, like, bro, you need to slow down, you need help. And it finally came down to his class having to physically take him down and force him to come back and rest and realize he needed to accept help, which eventually he did. But we see that things were still escalating, because All For One is still out there, Toya is still out there, and these plans are still in place. But we see that the school, as well as the heroes, at least the ones that are still actively working, they sent for help overseas. They said, hey, US, we need some help. And so we ended last season with help literally on the way. One in the form of a new character I've never seen before, but she had on her America drip, so she's letting everybody know where she's from. So I'm excited to see what kind of help, if she's the only one or if there's some more people, what kind of powers this woman has, and whether or not All For One's accounted for the fact that there's people with quirks that he's not familiar with that are going to potentially come over and join this fight. And yeah, just seeing how things are going with everybody at the school and how they're adjusting. I think I've done enough talking. Like I said, if you're here, I'm sure you're already familiar with the show and what's going on. You don't need me to recap too much, so I'm going to jump in. But just before I do, as I said, some of you may be new here. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. If you would like to be updated as to when I upload for this show or anything else, I do react to other animes as well. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. Then you will be in the know. And also, if you are feeling love for this video, please do show it by some comments and some thumbs up. I appreciate it so, so much. All right, that out of the way, guys, let's get into this episode, which is called In the Nick of Time, a big time Maverick from the West, right about now. 洗濯なんて何日ぶりだろう。What's what to say? You back home? Mm-hmm. I forgot how passionate her speech was. Her throat had to hurt. You are. Hopefully resting up. You better pin that down. I forgot about the Midoriya's. It's his dilemma of whether or not he tries to save Shigaraki. But does he want to be saved? Well, you got your buddies with you now. I really think you should have pinned down that cape. We gotta watch the credits because we know it's new credits. See what little spoilers we get from the credits. Oh, Toya, we need to talk, bro. Murder Death God. What was his name again? I can't even remember. I'm excited for the battle scenes this season, guys. But RIP to Japan, though. Like, they get so much damage already in that last battle from last season. I don't know how much more that we can take. Okay, not too much. They didn't give away too much in that. Brightman Air Force. Oh, this is all English. Okay, I guess we're in the US now. Or supposed to be. It's a black guy, guys. It's a black guy. Right? Really? Damn, she is jacked! I think you should. I think you should. Hey, they said we're gonna go where the help is needed. Okay, she said who needs a plane? Master? Okay, sis. I just don't get why you're not in the plane. You're in a cave, bro. A cave. Yep. Got it. Yeah, come on. Can you not tell this man's a megalomaniac? He clearly wants to take over the world. It's hilarious that they had Australia light up first. Like, bro, that's some shade. Okay, I like that he realizes that. Oh, damn. That's the only thing I was thinking of, yeah. So he knows she's a problem, but if he steals her quirk. He said, stop hiding. Worship? Damn. Okie doke. Sounds like a lot of propaganda to me. Yep. He's here for the quirk. Damn it. Please, girl, don't fall for his... Please don't fall for it. I beg, I plead. Please don't fall right into his trap, please. You look terrible, Shigaraki. So terrible. Are we gonna lose Star and Stripe in the first episode, guys? I have a feeling we might, because I don't like it. And he can also take powers. Does no one know this? Did they not convey this already? Evade, 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 evade. Alright, well, I guess it wouldn't be fun if, you know, we had a good advantage on the good side, right? Wow, that's the motivational speech. Don't worry, I'll bring your bodies back. Can y'all leave, please? Sis, I need you to leave. Damn, okay, she said don't breathe. Yeah, don't breathe. New order. How does that work? Okay, so she's a reality bender? Oh no, we cannot have... Oh no. All for One cannot get this. Oh guys, no, this is horrible. No, he wouldn't. Please leave. Just go. All for One having this is terrifying. I can't. Because all he has to do, couldn't he just say, One for All is mine? And that's the new reality? Or was it just with elements? Really? Okay. Exactly what you talking about. They told you he regenerates and y'all still up here. Yeah! Y'all think that Japan was just sitting on their laurels? No, honey, she can't touch you, please. 2 rules at once. Can you set a rule that my powers can't be stolen? Can we do that? All Might saved you? Not 8 antenna bangs. Don't let him touch you! It's over. She's on him way too long. So she has to touch them first. That's such creepy imagery. So weak, Shigaraki. Come on. Bro, why are you letting yourself be overtaken? Fight harder. Ma'am, can you get off of him right now, please? For the love of God, please. Leave! This would be a good time to leave! She can only do 2. Okay. Got you. Got it. I figured that out. That makes sense. It's because you're not all Shigaraki. How could she possibly know that? But see, sis, this is why you shouldn't engage. Go meet with the team first. So mad. The animation with this dark and like monotone description is hilarious. Leave. Leave, please, for the love of God. Great. Well, it was nice knowing you, Star. Till death do us part, sir, ma'am. I didn't sign up for that. Now that's pretty cool. Too bad it's not gonna last. You got busted up by her. That's kind of funny. Exactly. So let's not fight him anymore. Can we leave? Because then they could tell you that All for One is a real name and you could call that too. Guys, he can regenerate. Have we learned nothing? Oh, y'all are frustrating me. Episode 1. Damn. Okay, the ocean bed didn't ask for all that. I was about to say, burning is not enough. Soon's not an... Okay. If you say so. Oh, that's a cute picture. Wow. You know, this is still Japan. Or are they just outside Japan? And that's how you end it, is them launching like a whole thing of nukes? For real? Crazy. All right, we got to see what's happening in the next episode. Vasotra. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay. We started off strong. My God. They didn't waste any time. Usually, the first episode going into a season, you kind of ease in with some stuff, some catch up, some background, a little bit of characterization. And then by episode like maybe 3, we get into the action. They said, no, Sin, we ain't got time for that this season. They said we jumping right in. We going right in. Wow. Okay. So Star is on her way. She came over. We got a little bit. That part was very much from the last episode of last season of, her on her way over. Like we literally saw her flying over, but we got a little bit of background around, them on the base watching what's happening. We now know that the world over, people are watching what's happened in Japan with the loss of order, the loss of control. And now the criminals in these other places with quirks are starting to think, maybe we should do the same thing. If Japan got overthrown, we could do the same. So this is like the ripple effect is dangerous. And we see that apparently the US government was not necessarily on board with sending them over right away because they were like, should we be protecting ourselves first and make sure that our criminals don't go crazy or before we send help, right? Which, it's a valid concern to have. But we see that Star, because she's got a very special relationship with All Might, she was like, nah, All Might asked me personally to come do this. So I'm not really asking for permission. I'm going to ask for forgiveness. And we see that the crew of the people there, of her fellow soldiers, all felt the same way. And they just decided to go with her. So they were on their way and getting close. And we see that they encountered Shigaraki immediately because, unsurprisingly, All for One, he already anticipated that there would be help coming from overseas, and then he knew specifically that All Might had that connection with Star. And he was like, it sounds like he didn't know for certain that she would come, but he had a pretty good suspicion that if she did, or if anyone came from the States, she would be one of the people that came. And understandably, her quirk is something that he wants, right? We know that he's just greedy for all the quirks. And I thought about this when I saw her coming last season. I was like, is it a good idea to bring in brand new quirks, right? Because this man absorbs all the quirks that he thinks is useful. If you're bringing in a new pool, he's just going to absorb them too. I don't know if she's been briefed on what All for One can do, but and again, it sounds like she doesn't realize that Shigaraki and All for One are the same person. But do they know that? Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Midoriya knows that. So I don't know if he shared that information, but that should be telling people that they cannot. Yeah, they do know. They do know because they were saying that the merge wasn't complete. It's like they got to like 90% before my girl Mirko interrupted it last season. So my point being, I don't know how All for One did not tell her, or One for All didn't tell her right away, bro, like don't engage with him because one touch and it's over. Like if he takes your quirk, you're out. And what's more is that like her quirk is crazy, by the way. She's basically a reality bender to a degree. The fact that she needs to touch something and then say its name and then she can create rules for it up to 2 at a time is nuts. That's a crazy good power. And I don't want that in All for One's hands because all he needs, he's already touched Midoriya. I was saying all he needs to do is touch Midoriya and then he could just basically say your quirk is mine or you can't run from me or something, right? And he's already touched Midoriya. So he could just basically create a rule where Midoriya, if he ever comes in contact with Midoriya again, he can't run away or he can't fight back. Game over. Oh my God, this is so bad. Y'all, Star has to get away from him because honestly, I don't know how we're going to get out of it if he gets Star's power. That is insane. But very cool to find out that she used her quirk to make herself as strong as she is. That's actually part of her rules, which she said she keeps on herself all the time. But she can't get I guess there's an upper limit because of her body. So I thought that was really cool the way they had Shigaraki via All for One figuring out her power and explaining the quirk to us. So I think that was really smart for them to do. And Shigaraki is clearly still going through his own internal crises. We saw that last season though, that he doesn't want to be overtaken by All for One. I don't think he realized that was part of the deal of what was going on. He just wanted to get stronger. He just wanted to get to a point where he'd have enough strength to defeat any hero that got in his way. But now he's recognizing what the plot is. But by that point, it was too late, right? We see that, well, not too late because there is still that, what is it? All for One is saying that he thinks they're at like 97, 98% before they're going to completely merge into one. So he is still fighting it, but it looks like he's losing the battle. Like looking at the imagery they're giving us, he is losing this battle hard. And it looks like the reason he's losing is because All for One is feeding on his hatred. The fact that he's got so much hatred for everything, hatred for what happened to him, hatred for his quirk, but really what it comes down to is hatred for himself, really, right? Like that's getting psychological about it. Shigaraki hates himself. And that's unfortunately because of his past and feeling abandoned and hating his quirk. And that's exactly why All for One's able to just eat away at what's left of him. So yeah, I don't know if it's going to take. It's probably going to take Midoriya seeing past all of that, being the only one who wants to see past all of that, and trying to reach out to that little crying Shigaraki that's still somewhere beneath all the layers of hurt, and maybe get him to fight back and finally try to push back on this overtake. But it's crazy. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen this season either. But anyways, yeah, that's the battle is on. We see that the fight has already started. They jumped right in, and it's not, well, Shigaraki's not really giving his all at this point, but that could be because A, he's still fighting that mental battle, and B, because he's trying to figure out this opponent and their quirk. But yeah, I have no doubt that Shigaraki is not going to be destroyed by this by any stretch. And I'm just, like I said, my biggest fear is that Star gets, I don't want Star's power to be absorbed. That's crazy. That's going to make All For One even more OP than he already is. And I just don't want to think about that. We've taken so many L's. Team Midoriya, Team Plus Ultra has taken so many L's since last season. We need a win. We need to keep at least one thing working on our side, because even though Star is super powerful, she's still not like the army of Nomus that All For One still has, not to mention all the other villains that are still very much rampant. So yeah, anyway, that's a crazy way to start off. And outside of that, we just had a little bit of Midoriya back at the dorm, and yeah, him basically being like just waiting, right? Like they're just kind of sitting like, what's the next move? What do we do next? And him trying to figure out what he wants to do about the whole Shigaraki situation. You know, as I mentioned in the episode, he's still very much tussling with what he should do, because pretty much everyone has told him that the only way to deal with Shigaraki is to take him out, especially because he's merging with All For One. But we see that that's just not Midoriya. Midoriya has never been the kind to respond with hate for hate. He's never been the type who, you know, wants to get the eye for an eye. He's definitely the I turn the other cheek kind of guy. And that's how he's managed to win over so many people in his life, right? The classic example of that being none other than Bakugo, right? Bakugo hated him, or so he said, right? Like he was horrible to him. If there's anybody that if anyone personally that Midoriya should hate, it should be him. But that fact that he never let the hatred and never let that bullying get to him, and actually just continue to extend kindness to him, like that's now why Bakugo is like one of his strongest soldiers, right? So I guess, you know, I understand why Midoriya is like, I feel like there's still a chance to save him, but I don't know. Like I said earlier, you know, you can't save somebody who don't want to be saved, right? If Shigaraki don't want it, there's nothing that Midoriya will be able to do. But I also don't think it's in Midoriya to take his life either. I just don't. If anyone does it, it won't be him. But anyway, yeah, we're setting the stage though. Clearly things are getting intense. We see in the next episode the battle's going to continue. My gosh, I never thought I'd say this, but poor Endeavor, right? He barely healed up and he's going to have to get into battle again with this fool. But that's what we're down to. This is what we got to be doing right now. We got to keep this battle going. And I mean, if they could at least get Shigaraki contained, that would be half the battle. But yeah, it's too soon in the season for that, I think. So we're going to have to see what happens. But yeah, I like it. Engaging way to start. Jumped right in and left me definitely wanting to see more. So I'm looking forward to next week. But yeah, thanks so much for watching along with me, guys. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you did, please show some love, and I will see you in the next one.